So I think you got the picture. You hear the screaming, which is something we don't do. And then you'll see this guy has his hat on backward. Now, I don't know him. If he watches these videos and he's a good guy, I apologize. Maybe he flipped his hat around. But the poster was going around showing that the way they identify each other is by flipping their hats around. They dress up in the garb to make it look like they're Trump supporters. Well, look what the true patriots are doing. They're telling them, hey, stop. They're holding up the chair. They're saying, hey, stop what you're doing. What do you guys think you're doing? And they're trying to stop these guys. See, there's another hat turned around, and he's trying to cause problems. And then you've got the patriots saying, stop. They're trying to push them back, like leave these guys alone. And you see how they're acting. And so they pull them all the way up. And then the next portion that I'm going to show you is as they get to the building. Listen to what people are screaming out as this guy's banging on the window. So let's bring this down just a little bit more. There we go. And so you see he takes him down. Everybody's celebrating because she kept screaming, it's Antifa, Antifa. And you can see the way they're dressed on the top right. Doesn't look like a Trump supporter there at all. And this guy on the bottom right does not look the way, how do we know this? You can just tell. You can sense it. You can see the way they behave and act and dress. That is just not the way that patriots that support Trump actually behave, a majority of them. So then here's another clip for you to see. Watch what the police do right here.
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
You see that? Let's go back. So the police just pull back the little Disney, blockades. They back off and turn around and just casually walk. This guy's got his hands in his, just walking around casually. And just letting everybody walk in, and this guy's waving them in. Come on, let's go. Yep, and then as they get to the Capitol building, I'll show you this portion right here. You can see them all just casually walking in, just walking into the building. Art of War said, seems like this was intentional. Surely the Capitol is not this easy to storm into with hundreds of Capitol police guarding it. That's true. And then this was going around this piece here on everybody's phones, but just in case, I spoke to my Antifa operative in Portland, and she said the ones going to D.C. are going to wear camouflage cutoffs and Trump paraphernalia to blend in, but turning their MAGA hats backward for identification, so feel free to pass along. And so as they get to the building itself, watch what happens here. So it looks like it's all an act, right? I mean, this guy's just slowly backing up, and then, he grabs a little baton, and he leads them up. It's probably hard to figure out where to go in that building, and he just kind of seems to escort him there. Runs up, and, yep, it's all recorded. Takes them in, and next thing you know, you got these folks standing outside, and boy, do they look like they're all Trump supporters. Just the way they're dressed, it doesn't seem like it, because that's the way it normally looks when patriots wear colored clothes, right? And then as they get in the building, we saw that gunfire on the bottom right, and Ashley Babbitt was taken down. And last word that we've got is that she passed away. Ashley Babbitt is being characterized as an extremist, that's right, by the media, but George Floyd was praised as a hero. There's something terribly wrong with America, and that's from mess syndrome. And there she is, a Trump supporter. And she said, tons of Trump supporters on my plane as she was heading there. Where's the police officer who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt? May her family be in our prayers tonight. It's unbelievable how this is all playing out. These evil Democrats and Republicans working together against our president. And so the eyewitnesses report that the first people to storm the Capitol were dressed up and had knee pads. It's Antifa terrorist group and Black Lives Matter. They had radio communications. This was orchestrated and well planned. And the XR Vision firm claimed that Antifa infiltrated the protesters who stormed the Capitol. And that's from WashingtonTimes.com. So listen to this. Hopefully I'll remember to get the words out. If not, there's some cuss words here.
I'm watching guys around. Yeah, everybody here is over 40 years old. A couple of young guys are sketchy. They got knee pads on, all this shit. I was a fighter. I'm sizing guys up and stuff. We're here for 4 or 5 hours. Suddenly a guy goes flying by us and falls down. He gets up. Somebody tripped him by accident. He gets up. He makes a run for the gate. 30 seconds later, there was like 50 of them all storming the gate. I'm like, that's not a fucking coincidence. And somebody said, hey, it's on CNN. A minute later, it's on CNN. That's fucking sketchy. Then this other stuff was on. These guys went running there, and they all stormed the gate. They're pushing. I'm like, we've all been peaceful protesters here all day, and suddenly these guys are all pushing forward. And like, what the fuck is that all about? Suddenly they're all running up the hill. We're all standing back like, wow, okay, don't do that. That's not cool. Next thing you know, they're all running. And then I see other guys with black jackets on. A couple kids on bicycles going, come on, get in here.
Yep, and there were many witnesses like that throughout the internet. You can find them. And so here are the guys that were in this picture here that they're probably releasing throughout the internet world. Art Taking Back said these guys don't look like patriots. Look at the tattoo on the dude's hand on the left. And I've heard some other folks say it's not really a bad thing and blah, 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 whatever. But bottom line is just look at them. And it looks like PhillyAntifa.org. This guy on the right is that guy on the left. And this guy with this long beard seems to be this guy with the exile shirt on. You see how this is playing out? And then you got this guy, Viking guy, photographed this morning with Voss, who's married to Pelosi's daughter, Alexandria. And his name is Jake Angeli is what they're saying. And this is the guy that Horn's shirtless man at the Capitol demonstration identified. And so they're putting this guy out in the forefront, and they say he's part of that intelligence guy that we can't mention. So then it's interesting also because NPR had Trump supporters storm the U.S. Capitol, clash with police, and they posted this at 9:33 a.m. Eastern Time. What time did that happen? Sure wasn't at 9:33 a.m. And then you got, Lynn Wood says discernment. Look at this. You got this person here that runs in and they say, yeah, look at this. I'm awesome. And, it's not MAGA. You can tell by the way the person looks. It's staged. You can see this guy has his camera. Perfect angle. Let's get that shot and roll him. And so then there's a question right here from Liz Cheney. She jumps on with the media, right? So they get in there, they get their pictures, they get their videos, and then Liz Cheney gets to go on and share with Fox News to all the people exactly what was going on, right?
Important is to just recognize we just had a violent mob assault the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to prevent us from carrying out our constitutional duty. And there's no question that the president formed the mob, the president incited the mob, the president addressed the mob, he lit the flame. This is what America is not. There's just been, it's absolutely intolerable and unacceptable, and the mob will not prevail.
So they just keep up with their lies and their sickness. And what do? They call you deplorable. They call you a mob. And they just lump us all together, the Trump supporters and Antifa all together, who instigated the whole thing. They opened up the doors, let them in, mixed it all together. And then what does the media do? They jump on board because they're all tied together on the same evil, demonic team. And they push this information out to the masses, to the people that are still brainwashed by the mainstream media. And they fall for it hook, line, and sinker. Look at those terrible Trump supporters. Oh, my goodness. They're a mob. So the MAGA Forever 21 said there's also no question Hillary Clinton, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, and the squad formed the Black Lives Matter and Antifa mobs, incited the mobs, addressed the mobs, and lit the flames that burned down countless cities and innocent people, black and white, killed. No question about that. Very good point. And then you go a step further and they use the media to say that this was, white Americans aren't afraid of the cops. White Americans are never afraid of the cops, even when they're committing insurrection, even when they're engaged in attempting to occupy our capital to steal the votes of people who look like me. Joy Ann Reid on the Capitol breach. See that? So let's inflame the race card. Even though you had Vernon Jones just jump over and say, I'm going to be Republican now. And so much more. And then they say, protests are coups. They said this was a coup. Well, protesters are rioters who should be arrested immediately. Really? So, guys, I know it was bad. I know Antifa infiltrated and they egged people on to go in, and the emotions are really high, right? So, hey, if you're standing behind these guys and they open the doors, and hey, come on, man, the doors are open, and you walk in with them, and folks are walking around. Not everybody's acting like fools and screaming and trying to hit the police. But then what do you get labeled as? Is they tie this whole thing together as Antifa did this entire thing, so they got paid some good money, and then the media turns around, makes it look like it's the Trump supporters, that it's a coup. So where were Cuomo, Primetime, or Aaron Burnett, or Jake Tapper, or Wolf Blitzer, or any other Democrat when the rioters took over Capitol Hill over Kavanaugh? Why is the MSM never fair and balanced? Remember this? The anti-Kavanaugh protesters took over the Hart Senate office building atrium on Capitol Hill. And those were the good guys. And so here's from Pastor Mark Burns. He said he's in D.C., and he's sad and angry. And hear his testimony.
What was the rally called? Freedom Rally. It was another rally that was scheduled. The MAGA Freedom Rally that was scheduled to be at the Capitol, and there was so many other great speakers that was going to be there, but that got canceled because of a well-organized attack by Antifa. And I know people want to say, oh, you want to put this on Antifa. You want to put this on another group. It saddens my heart. I would never condone attacking the Capitol. It's our Capitol. It belongs to America. And it saddens my heart that once again, Trump supporters or people who support the Constitution of the United States of America are being condemned as violent pro-Trump supporters who stormed the Capitol building. My brothers and sisters, that is not the truth. That is not the truth. This was a well-funded, well-planned, well-organized attack by the anti-fascist, anti-American group called Antifa that is designed to try to destabilize America from within. They got smart, and instead of wearing black on black and their masks like they traditionally do, they dressed up as MAGA supporters. They had the hats on. They had the shirts on. They carried the flags in order to simply make it appear as though these were Trump supporters. Brothers and sisters, I was here with my sister. I would have never brought my sister here.
That's right. So he was there. He saw it play out, and he said that is not what happened.